Good morning. Happy Tuesday. It is 8:30 a.m. and that means that it is time for a little tea. Wild Thoughts with your girl, the beauty influencer, that would be me. You may be watching this at a later date and time on YouTube. So no matter what time it is, good afternoon, good morning, good evening. You are always welcome to join the live conversation. Good morning, good morning. Here on Instagram at 8:30 a.m. The link to my Instagram page is in the information section. You can also check out my online store, the self-care store. I'm just getting the vibe right. I always do. If you're new here, you should know that. I left my gift. Oh, Zeke. It's okay. Because you were the gift, my love. You were the gift. Just letting people come on in this morning. So check out the self-care store. Good morning, Miss Tiffany. Happy birthday. I hope that you enjoyed your birthday, my love. I have been going, and haven't had a chance to respond to everything, but I'm wishing you a happy birthday. Just plug in the self-care store as I always do. This is my energy clearing kit. It's got all you need to keep the vibes right. Sage, Palo Santo, which I'm using right now. It is spring. It is the time to kind of get the energy clear and right. And so that kit has everything that you need. Good morning, my love. Good morning. So you can also check me out at Essential Aesthetics and Laser in Charlotte, North Carolina, where we do all the skin treatments. We get all the skin together. We do laser hair removal. We do chemical peels, gua sha, facials, laser hair removal. Did I say that? Tattoo removals, everything you need. So come and see me or us there. You are so welcome. You are so welcome, darling. Tracy, I'm drinking from my birthday gift. So this past weekend I was celebrating my birthday. My birthday was Friday. And I turned 40 years old, child. The big 40. And it was amazing. I had such an amazing time with my friends. That was really all I wanted, was to spend some time with my friends, eat good food, and just soak that up and kick it with them. And I was able to do that. My man tagged along. His amazing, adorable children tagged along. And it was just filled with love, I really, really felt the love. So I'm grateful in general, but I'm especially grateful to my friends who helped to make the birthday special. We actually all celebrated birthdays. We all have birthdays in March, so we are the Pisces gang, honey. We went to the Garden Room in Atlanta. We went to Rocksteady in Atlanta. Good morning. So I'll be posting some more pictures from that. It was fabulous. It was amazing. Hold on, I'm getting my little notes confused. Lord. Okay. So anywho, yeah, the birthday was great. Yeah. This past weekend was a huge confirmation of just trusting God's timing in everything. I used to, and I'm just sharing this again, in light of wild thoughts. I used to be a person who would try to, and very, innocently, but like control the outcomes, do whatever I could to kind of influence and get things to go my way. And don't get me wrong, we all kind of do that, and we want our needs to be met. But I have really learned the blessing of going with the flow and just, when you prepare yourself to be in acceptance and to be just right in the spot to receive the good things, like you're ready for it because you're there, you are embodying it, you're there to embrace it. Those good things just flow to you. you know? So, just God's timing. You know, there was a lot that, you know, we couldn't get reservations here and there, and, you know. But the goal was just to enjoy my friends, and that's what I was able to do. And not be so worried about, like, how that happened. So anyway, then it's back to life, back to reality here, back in Henderson. My dad, you know, it's also really challenging. You know, I'm in a different phase with caregiving where I'm trying to kind of restart my life and, you know, just kind of let go a little bit of those duties, and again allow God's timing to really show up, and allow, you know, my father's needs to be met by, you know, things that I can't control, to let God show up and let those things, you know, flow into his life as well. I'm just not in control, you know? So it's been interesting just trying to, you know, embrace that I'm moving forward, you know, in my life. And my father's, you know, in the opposite. You know, he's older, and, you know, his health is not declining. It's pretty stable right now. But, you know, like, it's not easy. It's not easy. So, you know, back to life, back to reality. I brought him some cake. You know, I went and enjoyed myself, and I brought him some cake, child. I used to feel really guilty about just going and even having a good time, you know, when my father's here and, you know, he's not being cared for by me. But that doesn't mean that he's not getting care. And again, that divine timing isn't showing up. Good morning, love. Welcome. So, anyway, just wanted to give you a little recap on that. Also, let me plug really quickly that I am drinking Skin Clear tea. I'm not being paid to sponsor this at all. It's delicious tea. Luxurious Wellness. There's a black-owned skincare brand. Check them out. They have a lot of amazing stuff. So it's a skin clearing tea. It's delicious. So anyway, let's talk about Derrick Jaxn. Everybody's talking about Derrick Jaxn yesterday and good morning and this morning. If you are not familiar with him, he's kind of a self-help social media guy. He gained a lot of popularity by just kind of being one of these guys who goes girl, I know, who would give a lot of advice to women, you know, sis, if your man's not doing this, then, you know, this is what he's out here, you know, just giving advice to women about dating, you know, and how to find high quality men, or kind of male bashing a little bit. I'll admit that when I was in a different space in between relationships, you know, some of the things that he said was, you know, slightly appealing to me. And I'm not going to say that everything he was saying was wrong. There were definitely, you know, some good things that I pulled out from what he had to say. And, you know, eventually, though, I'll just share my thoughts on it. What I felt like I peeped game on, I'm steering clear of people who make their market out of sad people and sad women specifically, because there's a lot of sad black women who don't have success in relationships. Tables have turned. It's a hot girl summer, hot girl spring, hot girl summer. Yeah. He know what to look for because he ain't it. I'm getting into it. you know, all thoughts are respected, and you know, we all have our thoughts on it. So anyway, Derrick Jaxn, he popped online yesterday with his wife because he did get married. At one point he was single. Good morning, welcome. And he was giving all this advice, but then he got married, and you know, of course, you know, the image was that he looked like this, you know, big prize to catch, you know, and because he was this upstanding guy. And so now he has come out with this statement with his wife, which I don't even, just live your life, you know what I mean? Like, everything don't have to be publicly spoken about. But anyway, came out with his wife and said that, you know, basically he had been cheating. He looked a little nervous in that live. I mean, I think he just had to take accountability. It's not an easy thing. I don't think it's an easy thing for anybody to do whenever we have, you know, definitely done wrong. You know, so I'm genuinely not here to bash him. I'm really not even here to use my platform to highlight Derrick Jaxn, but I am here to reflect on what we can all learn from looking at this situation. But yeah, I'm not surprised. I'll be honest, you know, I'm not surprised. You know, again, you know, for the sake of conversation, I want to make a few points about it. But Derrick Jaxn, you know, he's not an unattractive man. He's not unattractive. You know, he's an attractive guy. He's around, his client base is women. And so, in my personal opinion, and I have shared these things in the past as well, you know, there is a such thing as black male privilege, you know, and as much as men don't like to hear that, there's male privilege and then there's black male privilege, you know, like in terms of the hierarchy, black women tend to be on the bottom, and that just is what it is in terms of just emotional strength and representation out there, and feeling love in general. So again, I am wary of anyone who uses sad black women as their market, because there's so many of us. Like, it's so easy to manipulate that and get them to purchase, you know, what you're selling when we are at a deficit in terms of a world that speaks to us in a loving way. And so he's a straight black male, and you around, you know, sad black women come in all shapes, forms, and sizes, honey. Some of them are absolutely gorgeous with big old asses and big old titties, and you know, he's a straight black man. So if you're around all these women all the time, I think the likelihood that he could be tempted could be quite high. It says, right, it's like he's taking advantage of it. I just think, again, when you start a social media platform, we have to remember that this technology is new, you know, like it's and some people have really gained a lot of popularity, you know, just by being on social media. And I don't know if the egos and the emotional, where we are able to balance that. You can't tell that through social media. And so let's just say, you know, I've been waiting my whole life to be famous or get bitches or whatever it may be. You know, again, it's going to be really challenging when someone like Derrick Jaxn gains that level of attention. All this attention is coming at you, and how do you balance that? You know, a lot of times I always say, you know, when you get what you thought you wanted, it don't feel the way you thought it would. So his wife, a lot of people made comments about his wife. I got some messages saying, you know, like, why did she have a bonnet on? I kept wanting to feel like it was a beret, but everybody's saying it was a bonnet. She looked sad. Yeah, she did. But I don't think that she is uncommon in, I'll just be all the way frank, you know, guys with big egos, guys with alpha males, straight black males tend to marry these docile type women. And be very quick again to call good morning, to call women who are more free spirited, are more bold with their appearance, are more outspoken, to call them hoes or sluts or whatever, and try to dictate again like how this woman should show up. But at the end of the day, the point I'm trying to make about them being straight black males is, and even the nerdy black male, like 9 times out of 10, they do succumb to temptations. I don't think that is particularly a gauge on whether we're good or bad people out here. I think it happens. I think it happens in life. And again, I think we have to be really careful of idealizing these people online. That's why I don't even let people idealize me. I tell you straight up. Like, this is who I am. This is what I do. I make mistakes. I feel this way. I try to be as human as possible, and have as many layers as possible, not be a one-dimensional person. Because, anybody can fall from grace. Anybody can fall, from these spots. So, I never doubted that Derrick Jaxn was a regular dude. No matter what he was out here saying. I just think that he, again, found his market and he did his thing. He wrote his books. He sold to these women who bought it. And so, again, it's very easy, again, to... perfection is not reality. It surely is not. For anybody. Not these pastors, not Kirk Franklin. We talked about that last week. Not Beyonce and Jay-Z. We need to start getting into talking about the reality and the layers of our relationships, of our humanity. That's what I believe. Me personally. So I just suggest to continue to think freely. Even when I was listening to him, take it with a grain of salt, honey. Again, you can use your discernment to feel too when these people like are saying things and then they start to get a little popular and that ego starts to pop out and you can just see them rolling with it. Like, everybody's not gonna handle certain levels of success well. I'm gonna just say this too. Again, just the energy from his wife, the fact that, again, she wasn't particularly presented as her best and highest self while they were sitting there and speaking. I'll read this really quickly. We put too much stake in people's life when they are human just like us. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because if it was me, I would have been sitting there, honey, fully gowned, full makeup. Like, if I'm going to sit here beside my man who just cheated on me, I'm going to look like the baddest bitch on the planet. I'm not going to be sitting here, we need to focus just a lot less on these men as if she did something or she wasn't good enough or she isn't good enough. At the end of the day, he made his decisions. He should have been up there by his damn self. We as women, we need to start... Men gonna be men, and that's cool. Again, it's not a jab on saying that we deserve to be cheated on. Individuals make their own decisions based on where they are, what they do, who their upbringing, all that stuff. Stop attaching other people's decisions to your worth, and so where I try to come in with black women and us being on the bottom of that totem pole, it's like, no, again, go get that facial, go get that laser, go get that chemical peel, get your skin together, get your life together, get your diet together, and start feeling amazing. So that, because we have to really start, men gonna be men, but women can be women, like we have to start really embracing our femininity and the power of what that is, which is what Derrick Jaxn ended up succumbing to at the end of the day, is some woman's femininity who knew how to, do what she did. Good morning and welcome. So, well, yes, look amazing. You know, just because you get married, just because you have kids, just, you know, is not, I'm not ragging on people, but it's no excuse to start dismissing yourself and not showing up and being as amazing as you can. Yeah, you helped me get the kids, so you take care of them. I'm going to get my nails done. Self-care. Hello. So, it is what it is. You know, we have to stop even idealizing these people in our relationships. We have to stop idealizing, you know, our mothers and our fathers. We have to stop idealizing our husbands, our wives. You know, they are not, again, everybody has their own decisions to make in this life. So we should all just be supporting each other as much as we can and making those decisions. So, I personally wouldn't have been there sitting with his ass. You go ahead, you make the statement. I'll come behind you and support you. But to sit up here and take the hit with you, I didn't make the decision with you. So why would I do that? Anywho, yes, had to learn that the hard way. Me too. We all have. You know, I think, again, a lot of us, it's way more relatable, which is why it's such a hot topic. Again, I'll speak for myself right now. I personally think, again, that we need something different than traditional white marriage. Because the success rate of these marriages, and that's not to say that white marriages are all that successful either. We all experience divorce and separation, and it's happened. It happens, you know. Relationships are not foolproof and guaranteed in that kind of way, because we all go through different phases of life, and we grow, and we have different experiences, and that can happen within these relationships. And so, you know, I personally subscribe to a different thought process than, you know, just pure monogamy. I'll say it that way. You know, I think we need to talk about it. We need to be open and be able to discuss with each other, like, when you're genuinely attracted, because I think it takes away, again, the just the mystery of things. You know, if you can turn to your partner and say, like, you know, I really am attracted to this person, versus feeling like you have to sneak behind them, and it takes away some of that. You know, it takes a different level of accountability too, to you know, be able to speak up about your feelings and have a different level of emotional dialogue. And the success rate of relationships can be a lot higher. Just my personal opinion. So yeah, that is pretty much what I have to say about Derrick. And here we are. You know, again, I think he married somebody that would fit into his image and his idealized image of what he, you know, who he would be in that relationship. Here, you know, the focus is still on him. It's just very interesting. It shows how little he respects his wife and how little she respects herself. He kept his wife behind closed doors when those likes were coming in. Keep that same energy when you mess up. You said that, sis. You know, I ain't never been one to be too public about my relationship, again, because you make your relationship very vulnerable. Very vulnerable. But to each his own. You know, again, we all just human out here trying to figure it out. Somebody was saying too, you know, I think he's just using this as something to sell his next book. I wouldn't put that past him. I definitely, you know. But again, it ain't just like he's this super bad dude. She made choices to connect herself to someone like him. Maybe that's what she wanted. Maybe this is the lesson that she needs to learn. So, more power to them. I'm way more worried about my own relationship, you know. And Just not. You think it's lame? Look, it could be. It could be. Again, I think I will give them both credit. Let's find the beauty here. I will give them both credit for presenting themselves as a tool, something that we can all create discussions about, learn from. I don't think that's easy. I don't think it's easy for anyone, whether you do it intentionally. It's better to do it intentionally and get up there and just say it than for somebody to come out and expose you. Again, everybody can relate. Everybody can relate. So I really don't even particularly care for anymore these days people who continue presenting their relationships as if they're perfect. Relationships are not perfect. I don't give a damn. We all got levels of trauma, toxicity, whatever, because we didn't ask for that. It was just given to us, And so if you're not willing to explore that, you're not keeping it 100. You're just not. So anywho, I'm going to share my wild thought of the day. This also came up. They're not. They are not. And it's okay. The more that we normalize that relationships are not perfect, the more we can stop doing this bullshit and suffering in silence. It doesn't mean that we all have to expose ourselves, but we also don't have to suffer in silence. And again, we can stop taking on other people's shit. So men and women both make decisions because we make them. It's not always because this person isn't doing and that person isn't doing. Why are you choosing? That's really the question. It's hard work every day. Absolutely. So my wild thought of the day is self-image is about perception. Healing is about reality. When we're trying to control our perception so much, not that self-image isn't important, because it is. But it is about being perceived. However you show up, when you roll up, when you wake up. Again, that's why I show up here. I always do that to my screen. I always show up here with no makeup on, trying to be as real as I possibly can with y'all, because when I sit up here and I take these selfies with my makeup on and my hair done, and that's how I want to be perceived. But this is the reality. This is the tea, honey. So that's why I do this. We can collectively heal when we all start to do the work. Absolutely. And I think even in light of Derrick Jaxn and him sharing, it forces us to, again, start looking at our realities a lot more. Stop pointing the fingers, maybe, again, talk to somebody about your story, about how you can relate to it. Stop using black women. Listen to black women. That's always my hashtag. First of all, we have a wisdom that is untold. Second of all, we have such stories, of strength and perseverance and so many layers, so, and our voices, we try to kind of get them up and then they fall flat. Now we have these platforms. Now we have this new technology so that we can control our narrative a lot more. She is not your traditional angry black woman. She wanted an idealized version of a man. And when he showed up and was just a man, excuse my verbiage here, but yeah, he did some nigga shit. That's what niggas do. It ain't nothing new. It ain't nothing new. It ain't nothing new. Some of the best ones. But hey, again, women got eyes too. We do stuff too. Just don't hear about it as much. So, it is what it is, you know. I love to flirt myself. So anyway, I hope that you guys have an amazing Tuesday. I am just gonna be here trying to get back into reality, you know, daddy's girl duty, and you know, continue to come down from the fabulousness that was my birthday weekend. Because that's not reality. That's not reality. That was a weekend. I got stuff to do. So I hope that you guys have an amazing day. I will be here next Tuesday, God willing. Make sure that you check out the self-care store if you're watching on YouTube. Like, share, subscribe. And you can always show up to the live conversation here 8:30 a.m. on Instagram. All right. I love y'all. Peace.